You know, the White House is more than just a building. It's more than 18 acres of land in Washington, D.C.
It's the place where Americans look for leadership when the night is at its darkest and when the dawn breaks brightest.
It's a commitment to the Republic and to our sacred Constitution.
Unemployment is 98% under Joe Biden.
Best debate prep since Lincoln.
And a loaf of gasoline is $84 a pound.
What about schools, sir?
Let them eat bootstraps, okay?
Remember when Trump said he was a stable genius? Well, the Lincoln Project just dropped 8 new parody ads that'll make you question if he's even stable enough to tie his own shoelaces. These aren't your grandma's political ads, folks. From Trumpty Dumpty falling off his border wall to Donnie Diapers having a Twitter tantrum, these ads are so savage they might need their own warning label. But here's the kicker. Trump's reaction to them is even funnier than the ads themselves. Stick around to see the orange turd lose his marbles.
Joe Biden says he cares about law and order. He says he believes in our institutions, our safety, and the rule of law. So why is Joe Biden publicly appearing on stage with a convicted felon? In January 2025, the future that generations were warned about will arrive. We know AI will change everything, but a far greater threat is here now. Because that day in January isn't about artificial intelligence. It's about actual stupidity.
Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. So who are these mischief makers behind the ads that are making Trump's hair stand on end? Meet the Lincoln Project, a bunch of Republican outcasts who decided they'd had enough of the Orange and Chief's antics. Think of them as the political world's version of the island of misfit toys, but instead of broken dolls, they're disgruntled GOP strategists with a wicked sense of humor. These folks aren't your typical campaign warriors. Nope, their war room probably looks more like a late-night comedy writer's den, complete with empty pizza boxes and walls plastered with memes. But don't let the casual vibe fool you. These rebels are using Trump's own playbook against him, and boy, are they having a field day with it.
He did not make a single appeal to a moderate voter, to an independent voter, to a centrist voter, or even to the millions and millions of Republican voters who voted for Nikki Haley this year or Ron DeSantis. That no matter what happens with Joe Biden, no matter what he decides or what happens in the Democratic Party, you can never take your foot off the gas of attacking Donald Trump.
When did conservative values become about one man? When did faith go from looking upward to looking the other way? Donald Trump doesn't represent the party of Lincoln.
Remember how Trump loves to give people nicknames? Well, the Lincoln Project decided to play that game too, but cranked it up to 11. They kicked things off with Trumpty Dumpty, poking fun at the president's obsession with his border wall. Picture a cartoon Trump teetering on top of a half-built wall, orange face scrunched up in concentration as he tries not to take a tumble. It's the kind of image that makes you snort laugh and then immediately want to share it with all your friends. But wait, there's more. They followed up with Commander in Tweets, a jab at Trump's Twitter addiction that's funnier than a cat video marathon. The ad shows a cartoon Trump, thumbs flying over his phone while the Oval Office burns around him. It's like watching a toddler play with matches, except the toddler is the leader of the free world. Yikes.
The Lincoln Project salutes Vice President Donald Trump. As Vice President, Trump will finally have the time to do the things that make him happiest. We at the Lincoln Project are confident that Donald Trump understands his position. Elon is smarter, wealthier, more charismatic, has a far superior and more successful social media platform and company. Talk about old movies, playing on his phone, admiring the assets of other men. Meanwhile, President Musk can get down to the business of running the country.
Now, you might be thinking, sure, these ads are funny, but did they actually get under Trump's skin? Oh, honey, you have no idea. The Lincoln Project was just warming up, and they had an ace up their sleeve that would make Trump reach for his phone faster than you can say "Cov Fief." Enter the CUFF19 ad. Remember that weird tweet Trump sent out that had everyone scratching their heads? Well, the Lincoln Project took that infamous typo and turned it into a full-blown pandemic of presidential incompetence. They managed to use Trump's own words against him so effectively, it was like watching a political jiu-jitsu match. One minute, Trump's tweeting nonsense. The next, it's being used to mock his handling of an actual crisis. Talk about a cell phone. You know that feeling when you're trying to look cool but keep tripping over your own feet? That's Trump right now. The orange turd's been trying to brush off these Lincoln Project ads like they're just annoying flies, but he's swatting at them so hard he's practically smacking himself in the face. It's like watching a cat chase its own tail, except the cat is the president and the tail is his own tweets. At first, Trump tried to play it cool. He called the ads fake news and said they were made by losers and haters. But here's the thing about Trump, he can't resist a fight, even when it's with his own reflection. So instead of ignoring the ads like a smart person would, he kept tweeting about them, and with every tweet, he gave the Lincoln Project more ammo. It's like he was handing them bullets and saying, "Here, shoot me with these." But the real kicker came when one of the ads featured an unexpected guest star, Trump's very own niece, Mary Trump. She popped up in an ad called Trumpty Dumpty, talking about how her uncle can't put the country back together again. Talk about family drama. It's like if your annoying cousin showed up at Thanksgiving dinner and started spilling all your embarrassing childhood stories. Except in this case, the embarrassing stories are about a guy who's supposed to be running the country. With each new ad, Trump's tweets got angrier and more caps locky. It was like watching a toddler discover the shift key for the first time. Fake news became fake news, and then fake news. It's a good thing Twitter doesn't charge by the exclamation point, or Trump would be broke. Well, more broke than he already is. An ad that really made Trump lose his cool? Donnie Diapers. Yep, you heard that right, the Lincoln Project went there. They made an ad suggesting that the commander-in-chief might need some Pampers. And let me tell you, it sent Trump into a Twitter tirade that would make a sailor blush. He was tweeting so fast you'd think his thumbs were on fire. It was like watching a fireworks show if the fireworks were made of angry tweets and hurt feelings. The funniest part? Every time Trump tweets about these ads, he's basically giving them free publicity. It's like he's their best marketing guy, except he's working for free and doesn't even know it. The more he rants, the more people want to see what all the fuss is about. It's the political equivalent of the Streisand effect, except instead of a house on the beach, it's Trump's dignity that's being exposed. So, what's the big takeaway from this epic showdown between the Lincoln Project and our orange-hued commander-in-chief? Well, it turns out laughter might just be the kryptonite to Trump's supposed superpowers. These ads prove that sometimes all it takes to deflate a big ego is a well-timed joke and a catchy nickname. But here's the real kicker. While we're all having a good chuckle, these ads are doing some serious heavy lifting. They're reminding us that it's okay to question our leaders, to hold them accountable, and to do it all with a smile on our face. Who knew political commentary could be this fun? In the end, whether Trump likes it or not, the Lincoln Project has shown us that in the battle of wits, a clever jab can land harder than any Twitter tantrum. And hey, if you thought this was a wild ride, just wait till you see what Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert have in store for Melania in our next video.